Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have got an interesting video for today. We have got a WWE2K25 Universe Mode setup tutorial video for you today. Before we get into today's video, please do go drop a like down below and also subscribe to the channel as well for some more WWE2K25 setup videos and also content on the channel. There'll be more coming down later down the line. And also, feel free to go and check out my series as well in the description down below. There'll be a link. Go and check out my series for Universe Mode. It's cooking. It's cooking. But without further ado, we are going to go and get into today's video. I have broken down as well each topic on what we're going to go and obviously explain, do, and the way to probably do it the best. What I would say for my tips and recommendations. So that's what we're going to go and do. We have got 10 steps and 10 simple things to make it a bit more different compared to what other people might do, but this is the way I do it. So topic number one we're going to go and talk about is the rosters. Rosters are the most important part of this game when it comes to obviously your own show and obviously Universe Mode in general. Without obviously a roster, there's no way you can play the game mode because you need superstars. And the best way I like to go and do this is, in my personal preference, pick between 40 to 50 superstars per show. So this could be what I do. Like I have NXT wiped out, and I just use Raw and SmackDown and pick between 40 to 50 on both of them shows. Not on the same show though, so I wouldn't do like the Judgment Day on Raw and SmackDown for one show and one show only. I don't like having cross-branded superstars. It just doesn't fit with me well. I don't like the way it works. Obviously it can work, but I just don't like it. I like it where it's set, so you're kind of like having a bit of a battle with each other on different shows, especially when it comes up to like the pay-per-views of like Survivor Series. It would be a great idea to keep obviously superstars separated. If you want to make it a bit more fun as well when it comes to picking your roster for your show, I would recommend saying do a spin the wheel. Put your superstars that you want to pick from in a spin the wheel. Do two of them. Do your superstars for one of them, and then do your show on what they're going to go on in a completely different spin the wheel, and see which one of your superstars goes on. That's what I did this year. Usually I do what everyone else kind of does, is just hand pick them. You know, like, oh, I'll put Seth Rollins on SmackDown, I'll put AJ Styles on Raw, I'm going to put the Judgment Day onto SmackDown and Raw, like that. I don't mind it, but I wanted to go for something completely different this year, and that's why I do the spin the wheel. It's different, it's unpredictable, and it can also give you out some really cool outcomes and get some nice, hopefully, down the line little rivalries that you've never seen in WWE in real life. And obviously you can relive that in this game. So that's what I would say for the rosters. Say for between 40 to 50. I've gone this year with mine as 45 for Raw and SmackDown on my video series. That's what I would say to go and do. So anything between there should be obviously a good enough amount of superstars to use and manage. Topic number two is going to be tag teams. Tag teams are another important element of obviously Universe Mode when you're building your rosters and in general your divisions. Tag teams I like to go and do is making new ones and also at the same time adding new ones. So when it comes to new tag teams, like look at WWE in the current era that they are in. You've got Naomi and Bianca Belair. In this game, I think by default, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are together. I completely bend it off because in real life on WWE TV, it's Naomi and obviously Bianca Belair. That's why I've changed it. That's why it's there. It's updated. It's original, and it's also it's realism. Rather than having the old ones like I mentioned before, there's no need to have the Brothers of Destruction in there because you won't be using them. Expand it. There's no need for it. If you want to go for like an Attitude Ever or whatever you're trying to do with your obviously Universe Mode, that's entirely up to you. But for what I would say and my recommendations is delete all the old ones, make your new ones, and also add in the new ones as well off WWE product if you want the realism. Topic number three is going to be the match card. A match card again is another element that you need to get banged on. Not every week, but especially when you're making pay-per-view builds and also big, just in general shows when it comes to building rivalries, making matches, and also managing your superstars as well to make it more enjoyable when you're playing it. I'm going to give you guys a example of what I would do for a certain match card, for example. So we're gonna go and obviously talk about it. I like to go and pick between about 5 matches to 6 on a match card when it comes to matches. You can also go and change this, by the way, in your settings for your show. Like here, mine's set to 5. 5 or 6 is what I like to use. I like to give myself at least 2 promo slots, and then usually 4 to 3 matches, depending on what I'm doing. I think 4 matches would be nice to also break it down a little bit. You could do like a promo, which I'm doing now as an example, to start your show, lead into a big match to kick off the actual show, really, leading into another match, and then your main event. It's like with this one though, I booked my show, for this obviously example, then a promo with Drew, to try and build up Drew as a character, done a tag team match to build a bit of hype on the show. These mid-card matches are to build rivalries, which I like to do overall. Got obviously a rivalry action going over between Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. Get them into a feud, let them brawl it out a little bit and see where the story goes there. And the main event is another one. Again, a big match, a lot of big superstars, a lot of predictabilities, which you could say, you know, well, oh, Gunther might actually win this match, or CM Punk might win this match, but people might not think about Braun Breaker, you know. Braun Breaker's like the underdog, kind of a little bit in this match, you could say. You know, you got big names like CM Punk and Gunther in there. When it comes to booking a match card, though, have a purpose. Otherwise, don't book the matches, because what you're putting the matches on for, you know, you've got to have a meaning behind every single match. It's like with me picking Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I want to try and build Dakota Kai up as an actual competitor for my show. Make her as a main event potential superstar. Put her against a big superstar that people might go, wow, you know, Io Sky should really be in Dakota Kai. But what about if Dakota Kai gets his victory? It's a big win for Dakota Kai then if she obviously goes and defeats Io Sky. Same for Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul match again. This is another one, another match that could lead to like a number 1 contenders match for one of these 2 superstars, or, you know, building characters. It's building those superstars up on your show. That's what I like to do when it comes to match cards. Think about, you know, who would be the winner, what would this do for them, and overall what could this actually do down the line for their career on your show when you're picking them. So that's kind of like an example. As I said, you can do 2 promo slots, which I do like to go and do sometimes. Building up superstars is a good way to do it, by either promo work, or just like I said with obviously Dakota Kai and Io Sky matches. Build your stars up by doing these type of match cards. It's a nice little thing to get into the habit of. It's always a nice thing to go and do. Now, number 4, I don't have too many settings to go and change. This doesn't also include sliders for your gameplay. I'm not doing any gameplay sliders for this yet. I might do a video later down the line explaining what I would say to go and do, but I'm not actually experimented into it as of yet. So like with obviously these settings, go to your options tab on the main menu of Universe mode. Now this is what I would say for my personal preferences. Intergender wrestling is entirely up to you. If you want fantasy booking, then I would say maybe do yes for that. But WWE TV, you don't really see many intergender matches going on, really. So I would say turn it either on or off, up to your personal preference. Automatic rivalries, I would say turn off. Build them up yourself, because you don't want the game making decisions for you when you've got the freedom to go and do it yourself. I would say that. Tag team breakups and formations, I would say turn off. Crowd reactions, again, is kind of like the intergender wrestling one. It's entirely up to you. I like it being turned on because sometimes when you're playing, obviously throughout Universe mode in the season, you sometimes see obviously changes, heel turns and faces and all that shit. I like it, and that's what I like to do, so I don't really meddle with that one too much. Injuries, I would say turn it on, keep it like you would do. You have it turned off, you don't tend to see a little bit of, you know, I like injuries being turned on. Superstar entrances, I would say turn on. All the AI cash-in ones, I would say turn them all off. Manage it yourself, like say, if you've got the option to go and do that, I would use it overall. And then Universe Tutorial, if you've not played it yet, keep it on. If you played it quite a bit, turn it off. Number 5 is going to be remove all champions from all shows. Now, I like to go and do it because I like to build up different superstars. Like I was going back to before on the topics of when I was going on about the match card again. I like to go and do it. Go into your show, like I said, and just remove all your championships from every single superstar. You can also, if you want to go and make it as well a bit different, I like to go and sometimes get rid of the women's division tag team, get rid of that, and add the mid-card one in, which they've actually added in this year's game. For the likes of Raw, add obviously the United States Women's Championship there, and add that to the show. Save that as well, don't forget, because otherwise it won't do it. And then for SmackDown again, same with obviously Raw, vacate that belt and go to your, where is it, the Intercontinental one, and just remove them. Like I said, that's what I like to go and do. It just gives you more doors rather than picking your champions yourself at the start of the, your start of your save. It gives you more of an opportunity to build superstars and give chances to superstars as well, rather than just handing out the belt freely. I like doing that personally, and that's my personal preference. Now, this topic is going to be another optional topic to talk about for people that want to make it a bit more of an experience to play throughout US mode this year. Alternative attires are a nice way to touch into your own feeling of playing US mode. Now, what I'm on about here is like general managers wearing suits, superstars doing promos in clothing rather than their actual wrestling attires. It's different. It makes it feel completely different when playing, and that's what I like about it overall. If you have been watching my series, my Raw general manager is actually Wade Barrett, and I did make my own wrestling general manager attire for him, which I do use quite a lot in my actual series that I do. So that's what I like to go and do. When it comes to alternative attires though, you can go and download them off the creations tab, get them off there, add them to your game. That's one way to go and do it. You can go and do make your own, which I go and do. I like doing that, adding different suits to certain superstars, and also post-match attires for different people as well. When it comes to like pay-per-views, like WrestleMania could be a great one to go and do. WrestleMania for Seth Rollins, get a nice one for him made, add it into your game. Completely different feeling when you're playing it as well in the gameplay. Completely different element as well. It's just better than seeing the base attires that you see over and over and over again that everyone else would be doing as well. Add your own things into it. Make it like it's completely your control when you're doing this type of thing. That's what I would say to go and do. But when it comes to the promos though, if you do have obviously a general manager and a superstar, I would definitely use alternate attires for it, because it does look better when you're kind of presenting it to obviously an actual audience or just playing it. It makes it completely different. Number 7 is going to be double night shows. Now, double night shows is I don't think it's new this year. I think it might have been in last year's 2K as well, but I'm not too sure, though I could be wrong. Please obviously do correct me in the comments down below. But double night shows is a nice thing to go and do as well, especially when it comes to pay-per-views overall as well. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm on about. King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring as well is up to obviously two completely different shows on the same day though. If you go down the line though a little bit, you can see here on Saturday and Sunday we've got SummerSlam on obviously Saturday and also Sunday. I believe as well it is for both brands, which it should be, but you can actually go and change it as well in the actual tab as well for this as well there. So I would definitely use this for SummerSlam, even maybe other pay-per-views as well. I'm still not too sure though what you could do it for as well as SummerSlam though. I know WrestleMania is another one that's obviously in this year's game over 2 nights, which could be good. I don't think you could really do Elimination Chamber over 2 nights. Can't really remember over 2 nights. But if you're doing like your own pay-per-views as well though, if you completely, as I said, if you're making your whole series not SmackDown, Raw and NXT, if you're doing a completely custom one, I would say maybe add a couple of them in. Maybe 2 to 3, even 4 pay-per-views where you've got double nights on them. Give yourself more options. Use your stars, build them. Like I said before, that's what I would say to go and do. But when it comes to double thingies, like if I wanted to go and do something else, like if I wanted to go make Money in the Bank, for example, over 2 nights, I can do that. I can do it over 2 nights, Money in the Bank. Like there, I can put it in there, and you can see there I've got Money in the Bank on the same night as NXT. Heatwave as well, so I can have Money in the Bank on both nights. I could even do like one on the first night. I could do like the men's Money in the Bank, and then the second night I could do the women's Money in the Bank. Number 8 we're going to go and talk about is the deleted shows that you're not going to use. Now when it comes to this is preference again. I don't really like managing NXT. I would like to down the line, but I think managing 2 shows, in my opinion, is enough when you come to like doing a series. So I like to go and delete NXT and just work with SmackDown and Raw. I just don't really have. I could have the patience for doing it, but I don't. Personally, I just don't think it fits what I want to do. I just want the standard, you know, Raw SmackDown battle between both brands. So I would say delete NXT and just do 2 shows, or like I said, do NXT and SmackDown, NXT and Raw, or like I said before, do your own shows. But I would definitely manage 2 shows. I wouldn't really go and do 3 shows. Another tip that I also like to go and do when it comes to the terms of unwanted shows, this is what I think is best to start off your series. I think this pay-per-view makes completely no sense after WrestleMania, because WrestleMania starts and then your next month's just like, you don't have enough time to build, you know, for the new season or the new season calendar with Backlash. I think Backlash is a complete waste to have on your show. So in my personal preference and what I've done in my series is completely remove Backlash as well. It's not enough time for storyline, it's not enough time to prepare yourself for some new rivalries. It's too short. So I would say get rid of Backlash as well. That's another really interesting and also top kind of recommendation for having a good series of Universe Mode. That is what I would say to go and do. So that's what I would obviously go and do myself. So change, for example, as well, SmackDown to Wednesdays now since I deleted NXT. I can put SmackDown on a Wednesday night now. Change that and put that there. Put Raw, if I really wanted to go and do it as well, I can go and put Raw on Friday night and do that as well. There's a lot of different aspects you can go and do. At number 9, though, we are going to speak upon Realism or Fantasy. Now, with terms of this, I mean, are you going to go for the realism aspect of playing Universe Mode? Are you going to add in your own general manager? Are you going to add in the new tag teams that we talked about? Are you going to add in new attires for superstars? Are you going to add in different belts? Are you going to add in different match types? Like, these things are something to consider to make it feel a little bit different than playing your standard, basically your standard, obviously sandbox of Universe Mode. Now, the way I would say to do it, if you're going for the realism aspect, copy the WWE modern day TV, what you watch. Whether it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, main event, whatever, copy what they do. Try and nick ideas of what they actually show you, as whether it's presentation or coming to booking match cards. But like I said before, though, when it comes to match cards, make sure obviously that has a purpose behind it. Don't book the flipping match. But copy WWE TV for the realism aspect to this. And it's also a good way as well with general managers. Add them into your storylines. Try and make them as like special guest referee. Even bring him out of retirement, like with Wade Barrett for me. I might potentially at some point bring him out of retirement. Have him on the main roster rather than being the general manager. Have him like that. For fantasy, this is entirely up to you. Your freedom is there to mess with them, whatever you want to go and do. Whether it's down in terms of rivalries, like for example, now I could even do like, you know, I want to see AJ Styles take on the likes of, I don't know, LA Knight. Let's just say I want to do that. Run it for the first couple of, you know, the first pay-per-view. Leave it at low intensity. Bang. That's one I want to go and see. Build that up. Tag teams. Let's say I wanted to see the Street Profits against, I don't know, the Wyatt Six. Get them on there. Bang, whack it in there. I want to see some really cool matches like that and build them around that. It's different than doing what obviously realism is. Realism you could do like, you know, I'm trying to think now on WWE. You could do Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill go at it all. Obviously, if you want to go and make it pretty much dead on. I don't know if Naomi is set to this show, but she's actually not. Very lucky there. But you could do like Nia Jackson, Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton as a rivalry. You could build that maybe. You know, that's for the realism aspect. That's for obviously fantasy aspect. It's different things. Like, you've got the freedom. Use what you've got to use to make it more enjoyable for yourself when playing this. And that's what I would say for that. Add your dream matches in that you've never seen before. It's always nice to see that type of different aspect when playing within, obviously, Universe Mode. Now, the last topic is kind of similar to the last one a little bit when it comes down to booking, but Rivalries is another good option for having more enjoyment and also realism and fantasy aspects, like I mentioned already. If you're looking at like doing something in terms of presentation and enjoyment, this is what I would say to go and do. For what I would say, use the action menu as a guide when building up your rivalries. Like for example here, obviously from the last part we mentioned Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax as a rivalry. It will show you this rivalry action prompt. Click on there, you've got all these different cutscenes and different bits to build a rivalry up. So let's say for the first week of this rivalry I want to go and do as Tiffany Stratton, she's my face, so I'm going to make her do a call out maybe, or even potentially do an open challenge, book that, and obviously Nia Jax will come out. Secondly, for Nia Jax, so I want to do an attack on Tiffany Stratton, let's say attack her during an entrance, I want to run that. So use the options you've got in the rival actions to make it more enjoyable when it comes down to this one again. It does also randomise it, but you can also change the feature as well, though, to have it as free mode, where you pick the option rather than the game pick the outcome of your rivalry action there. Definitely use the actions you've got in your locker to make it more meaningful. Build up your feuds. Wait till the pay-per-views until they all unfold. But like, you've got so many options. Don't forget as well, though, when it comes down to these options, you have to have a certain amount of intensity when it comes to booking them. You can change it though, I think, with the free mode again to do what you want freely, but if you want to go for the realism aspect like we said in number 9, then obviously turn off free mode and play it out with low intensity at the start and make it to medium and then make it to high and also very high later down the line. So that's what I would say to go and do when it comes down to rivalries. Build them up, make it meaningful when obviously you're having a rivalry, make it fun, have attacks once in a while, have promos once in a while, have your superstars have a stare down if you've got a champion, have them do that. That's type of different aspects of having it. And I like it that way. I do enjoy having it that way. Also as well, when you do your matches and also your feuds, if I skip this show now, and then also if you go onto the news, it will show you as well. Like again there with obviously the feuds that I've done for rivalries, it does show you what they actually do. So we've got like an injury, it will show you from the feud. If we've got like someone running down like we do with obviously Nia Jax and Stratton, that will show you there. It's good ways to do it. And also don't forget as well though, if you do your rivalries the way I've done them, make sure you're looking at your momentum bar as well when it comes down to this. Momentum bar is quite key. It does also tell you what it does actually as well with the options you pick from for the effects. Like if I pick the neutral aggression now for Nia Jax, she would suffer moderate, I assume, damage. Also Nikki Cross as well would assume to be getting that. It also gives him the momentum boost. Momentum boost. What the hell came from? Momentum boost. Sorry, when you obviously do that, so you get the winner gets a 10 momentum boost, and also this would increase Nia Jax's bold traits. There's a lot more when you look into it, with obviously coming down to the options you can pick from. But like again here, I can't pick these without obviously having a certain amount of momentum in it, and also the intensity as well does play in fact of that. But that is my tips on what I would say to go and do for your obviously Universe mode. And yeah, that is it. WWE2K25 Universe mode. Give it a try. Give it, like I said, freedom. Use it to your advantage. But if you want the realism aspect, completely copy WWTV the way they do it, and that will give you that aspect of realism rather than fantasy booking and in general fantasy type of playing it out. But anyways, that has been Universe mode, hopefully covered from the top to the bottom. And yeah, I will hopefully see you all in the next video. Take care, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.